It was a day meant to celebrate the brilliance of youth, a day steeped in recognition and honor, but as cameras flashed and applause echoed across Girona, what no one expected was a royal moment so startling that it briefly eclipsed even the most glittering award. Infanta Sofía, the younger daughter of King Felipe VI and Queen Letizia of Spain, found herself at the heart of an incident that could have ended very differently. It wasn't on stage during the prestigious Princess of Girona Awards that the drama unfolded, but rather in the charming countryside of Sant Martí Vell, a serene Catalonian village now marked by a royal close call that has since captured the attention of the Spanish public, and far beyond. The day began in splendor. Princess Leonor and Infanta Sofía, the future faces of Spain's monarchy, were radiant at the Girona Awards, held to recognize young people's achievements in the arts, science, and social commitment. All eyes were naturally drawn to Princess Leonor, the heir presumptive to the throne, as she stepped confidently into her public duties. But alongside her stood Infanta Sofía, tall, elegant, and equally poised, forming a visual reminder of the monarchy's continuity and the strength of sisterhood that has often been praised in Spanish press. The two princesses, with their perfectly coordinated outfits and bright smiles, projected an image of youthful grace. But the narrative took an unexpected turn the following day. As the sisters traveled to Sant Martí Vell, a village famed for its cobbled streets, medieval charm, and bucolic scenery, the mood shifted from ceremonial to casual. Here, away from the cameras and rigid protocol of official events, the royal sisters were meant to relax and engage with locals in a more personal way. They laughed, greeted townsfolk, and explored the historic beauty of the village. But amid the sunshine and serenity, fate nearly dealt a different hand. According to eyewitnesses and local press reports, as Infanta Sofía descended a set of uneven stone steps near one of the village's older plazas, she momentarily lost her balance. It was a second, perhaps even less, yet the implications were enough to draw a collective breath. Her foot caught on a loose stone, her posture wavered, and for a moment it looked like Spain's royal daughter might tumble down a centuries-old staircase. Onlookers gasped, a security guard tensed. Princess Leonor, just a few steps ahead, turned back with visible concern etched across her face. The scene was frozen in tension, but just as quickly, Sofía regained her footing, aided by an outstretched arm from a nearby aide. She straightened, brushed a lock of hair from her face, and smiled, her poise remarkably intact for someone who had just narrowly avoided a fall in front of flashing lenses in a crowd. A lesser figure might have been shaken. But not Sofía. That moment, though small, revealed something profound. The grace with which she handled the scare, without panic, without theatrics, underscored the composure instilled in her from birth. It wasn't just royal training. It was character. And yet, this was more than a mere slip of the foot. It became symbolic, even poetic. The younger daughter of the Spanish monarchs, often living in the shadow of her elder sister's looming destiny, had a moment that thrust her into the spotlight in a completely unexpected way. For a brief moment, all of Spain looked not to the future queen, but to the royal who might have just had her defining moment of grace under pressure. Media outlets quickly picked up the story, not to sensationalize, but to highlight the calm resilience Sofía displayed. The princess who didn't fall, some headlines read, emphasizing not the potential accident, but the dignity with which it was averted. Back in Madrid, the royal household offered no formal comment, perhaps choosing to let the moment speak for itself. Yet insiders later confirmed that Queen Letizia, ever the vigilant mother, was briefed immediately. Reports suggest a flurry of text messages and calls were exchanged that evening, not in panic, but in maternal concern. King Felipe VI, known for his grounded demeanor, was said to have spoken with his daughters after their return, reminding them once again of the unpredictability of public life and the strength required to handle it with grace. Sant Martí Vell, meanwhile, found itself momentarily transformed. The tiny village, which had quietly existed outside the world's gaze, was suddenly flooded with tourists and journalists. Some came to trace Sofía's footsteps. Others simply wanted to stand where royalty almost met misfortune. Local businesses boomed. The village tavern proudly hung a photograph of Sofía laughing with a local child mere minutes before the near fall. And an enterprising cafe even created a new dessert, El Paso Real, the royal step, a flaky pastry that quickly became a local hit. But beyond the charm and commercial buzz, there were deeper conversations brewing. Spain, A country fiercely proud of its heritage yet often divided in opinion over the monarchy, found itself united in admiration for the young Infanta. Her humanity, her vulnerability, and her elegance resonated across social media. TikTok clips of the moment garnered millions of views. Hashtags like #Sofurial trended for days. Not because she was perfect, but because she stumbled and handled it like a true royal. Royal experts began dissecting the symbolism of it all. In a world where monarchy is often accused of being out of touch, here was a princess having a very human moment in an ancient village, smiling despite it. Veteran royal correspondent Maribel Sanchez wrote in El País, "It is in these unscripted seconds that the monarchy either connects or crumbles." Sofía connected. The moment also reignited discussions about the roles of royal siblings. Historically, younger royal children have often struggled to find their place once the heir ascends. But Sofía's path seems different. Already popular among youth for her modern approach and quieter demeanor, she has been carving a role that complements, rather than competes with, Leonor's future crown. While Leonor receives formal military training and prepares for constitutional duties, Sofía has shown an affinity for cultural engagement, youth advocacy, and education. Sources close to the Zarzuela Palace suggest plans are underway for her to lead a series of initiatives focusing on digital literacy and youth mental health, possibly giving her a unique royal portfolio that modernizes her image even further. This singular event, then, may be seen in hindsight not as a minor slip, but as the start of something more. Just as the village of Sant Martí Vell has been etched into royal history, so too might this brief scare become a defining footnote in Sofía's evolution as a royal in her own right. She may never wear the crown, but she has shown the world that her presence in Spain's royal family is anything but ornamental. In the days that followed, Leonor and Sofía continued their official agenda in Girona. At each stop, they were greeted with louder cheers and more heartfelt support. Not because of speeches or titles, but because of a moment that reminded Spain that even princesses can stumble, and in doing so, reveal their strength. Queen Letizia, who has long championed authenticity in royal appearances, was privately proud, according to court insiders. She's said to have shared the footage of the moment with close friends, remarking on how Sofía handled it like a queen. And indeed, perhaps that's the truest takeaway. Not all queens wear crowns. Some wear resilience, even when the world is watching, even when the ground beneath their feet shifts. For Infanta Sofía, this visit to a quiet Catalonian village was supposed to be just another stop in the royal calendar. Instead, it became a moment that defined her character, charmed a nation, and whispered to the world that the Spanish monarchy's future holds not just one, but two formidable young women prepared to lead with poise, purpose, and profound humanity. So what do you think? Was this just a fleeting moment of drama, or the spark of something greater in Sofía's royal journey? Let us know in the comments, and if you haven't already, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and ring the notification bell for more exclusive royal coverage you won't find anywhere else.